Again, my name is Melissa Stamp, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and I appreciate having the symposium. Thank you to the organizers. So I am the lead project coordinator for the Provo River Delta Restoration Project, and I work for a small federal agency called the Mitigation Commission, and our agency is responsible for environmental mitigation for the Central Utah Project, which is the federally funded series of dams and pipelines that help the state of Utah tap its share of Colorado River water. And so I'll start off with an overview slide that hopefully you guys can see. And to get yourselves oriented on this map, Utah Lake State Park is at the bottom left. And for everyone who's attending live, it's right out there. So you can actually see Utah Lake State Park, and we're north of that, is what we're seeing on this map. And the Delta Restoration Project involves diverting the majority of the Provo River's flow north into a series of constructed river channels and delta ponds on about 260 acres of agricultural land that we've acquired for the project purpose. One other element I want to emphasize is that we'll have to lower the northern half of Skipper Bay Dike to allow Utah Lake to expand eastward and reoccupy something closer to its historic shoreline. I want to emphasize also that the existing river channel will remain in place and continue to receive a small amount of water flow. Another element of the project with the existing channel is building a small dam downstream in the state park area that will maintain a more constant water elevation in that existing river section downstream of where the delta will be diverted into. We'll also be involved with many recreation features. That's another purpose of the project. So trail systems that tie into the Wakara Way trail system that you just heard about to the north, and also that tie into the existing Provo River Parkway trail system, creating some new loop opportunities for recreation in the area. Along the existing channel, we're partnering with Utah County to install some fishing platforms, boating access points, and interpretive signage, and also with Provo City Parks and Recreation to create a new community park called Delta Gateway Park at the diversion point. So that's kind of an overview of the features that are involved with the project. So what's it going to look like in this new Delta area? This is a slide showing the Hubble Creek Restoration Project that Chris had a slide of as well. And again, that project was completed in 2008. And really the idea here is to connect the river channels to a very expansive set of well-vegetated wetland habitats that create great habitat for nursery for small young fish and rearing habitat. And that gets back to the bottleneck that Chris alluded to, with the fish still having trouble completing their full life cycle. And this connected river and wetland, well-vegetated wetland habitat is what is currently lacking in the existing Provo River channel, and that is what this project is intended to solve. So at its heart, the underlying need for this project is tied to June sucker recovery. And I'll just mention while I have this slide up that this is definitely very much a multi-agency effort. It's being implemented under that umbrella of the June Sucker Recovery Program, which includes 10 agencies. We're also partnering with additional stakeholders and agencies outside of that umbrella of 10 entities. So just very much a collaborative team effort. And again, this is a silly cartoon, but it kind of gets the idea that we want to go from this cold, deep water to, with lack of vegetation, to a much more productive system where the fish can hide from predators and find good food sources. And this is another emphasis, what Chris kind of mentioned. We've got the Provo River Delta, which is essential for June sucker recovery, and then the recovery of the June sucker is tied to water supply because of the environmental commitments associated with the federal water projects. And I've been drinking some water that I filled up here, and I have some Central Utah Project water molecules in my body right now, and probably most of you do too, because it's a very critical water source for the entire Wasatch Front, Utah and Salt Lake Valleys. Okay. I want you to see the orange line on this map that I'm sharing, and that is where a berm and trail system will be built for the project. Again, that will connect to these other lakeshore systems. And we have to lower the north half of Skipper Bay Dike and remove that trail, but it will pivot down to this new orange line, and that will essentially become the new shoreline of the lake. And when I say new, there's that Stephen King quote, I think, everything old is new again, because our project is happening in the very upper left on this slide, and in 1856, it was mapped as being in the bed of Utah Lake. For that matter, so was the lower mile of the existing Provo River, which has been turned into land with diking and levees and pumping. Makes sense at the time, but that's why the larval fish are getting stuck, because there's no gradient, because it's literally part of the lake in its natural state. And so we're restoring not just the river, but also a historic bay and shoreline, Skipper Bay of Utah Lake. And construction-wise, we started last year. We're planning to be complete in 2024, and I'm running out of time. So I just want to land on, it's a very significant project. It's an ambitious project, it's a well-funded project, and I think what means the most to me kind of personally is I feel like it's a project that honors the natural history of this special place. We're restoring delta processes and ecology to the largest tributary of the third largest freshwater lake west of the Mississippi. This amazing remnant, shallow in the lake of Lake Bonneville, and we're recovering a fish that has this great history of feeding human settlement for many thousands of years to the valley. And it's also a testament to collaboration and persistence, and I hope it's a catalyst for additional projects into the future. Thanks.